Amani B, who is going to be on here today talking with us, said, I don't know who I don't know who got paid for what. But I will say, what I will say is that folks were and are absolutely vile towards those of us who share more left-leaning takes and information online, specifically on TikTok. I've been harassed and berated real bad. Even to this day, I hear you, girl. And I have never been a Democrat to have been expected to be in support of that. Folks were getting paid for political takes. Shit. I was unemployed for 7 months. Wait, let me get this banner off of here so I can read the rest of this. I was unemployed for 7 months. Child, it's been rough. And I try and find some sympathy, but I don't have much. Also, joining us today, Consciously, I saw made a post that said, to be clear, I think anybody signing a contract that restricts people speaking on genocide, Gaza, Congo, etc., are certified pieces of shit. No mincing of words there. That's why I want to see the contract for myself. I hear the restrictions don't exist. Baby. So, to dive into this conversation today, we have with us Consciously, we have Amani B, and I also have somebody in the car right now, and I'm going to bring her on, Lana Salah, as soon as I know that she's in a safe space, and I'm going to put us on here nice and full screen so we can really get into this chat. But folks, when this article had broke down, I just thought there was a whole bunch of obtuseness going on, because I was like, wait, are people being obtuse on purpose, or are people avoiding accountability? What's going on here? Because I understand, wanting to get paid and needing to get paid for certain things, but are we ignoring the experience that just happened over the past election and what that money did to the conversation and accountability that we were trying to have with the candidates we wanted to vote for? Anybody want to start and chime in on that first, Consciously?
Man,
George
what I
Lee?
say as somebody during the election that was at the DNC doing a lot of work with the uncommitted delegates, talking a lot about different things from reproductive justice to criminal justice. I definitely will say that I was in the crosshairs a lot, fighting about my stance for Palestine specifically, and when it came to talking about American imperialism, insofar how the Democratic Party uniquely was, implicated within that, and specifically how you can have the option to be an accessory to a crime, or you can call the police on a crime. You know what I'm saying? That's what they tell my homeboys that's in jail. I will say that when it comes to the 1630 wired thing, it's for me doing my digging and me seeing it. Genuinely, I want to see the contract to see these restrictions. I've seen Elizabeth Booker's content specifically about Gaza when they're talking about Chris Smalls, we'll be talking about, you know what I'm saying, her having.
But that was after. Like that content of Chris Smart, because I was watching.
It's supposed to be right
And
now,
if
though.
you listen,
It's
yeah,
supposed to be
that's
right
what
now,
what
though.
I'm
Like,
saying
it's
is
supposed to be right now, though. It didn't exist.
six.
Didn't exist during the election. It's
Oh, it
important.
didn't exist during the election
Didn't exist
season.
during the election. They was trying to pull it together.
Interesting.
As a matter of fact, the article came out the article came out the day before they was putting the application out for course.
So you're saying what nobody getting paid during the election time to do all that foolishness?
Now, of
Because what
course,
I'm going to put out there is a lot of people was doing a lot of foolishness for free.
yes, that's what you gotta be. That's what you gotta recognize. Let's be real. A lot of people that you was beefing with, they did that on their own accord. I've never seen no contracts where they say you can't talk about Israel-Palestine. So if you didn't talk about that, that's something, a decision that you made on your soul, on your own ethics, on your own morals. You can't put that on the contract. You made a decision to not talk about it or talk about it. So it's like, I want to see the contract, being real with you. I'm
Yeah.
skeptical. I want to see the
What you got
In
to
the
say, Imani?
article,
Yes.
I was going to say in the article specifically, it literally says that the program kicked off last month. So
So
we're
it's
talking
like,
about election. We're talking about months of you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, I can understand the article in terms of pay transparency, being able to be open with your audience, letting your audience know, like, hey, this is the type of content I'm doing, et cetera, et cetera. Now, majority of the people that are online, I don't follow those people. Majority of them people are white content creators. I do not follow white content creators. It's no shade. Maybe it is shade, but I don't, there's nothing that I get from their content, right? Aaron Parnas, he regurgitates real journalists' work. There's nothing that he's saying in his content that is actually something that he is creating, right? Like when you see a Conscious Lee and you hear education is elevation, that is specifically something that he has formed, he has formulated. That is something that he has groomed into his content to really educate his audience on something. Aaron Parnas is literally taking news clippings from actual journalists who have done work, who have done research, who have done fact checking, and just regurgitating that shit. And we already know, it has already been said that he was a Zionist a long time ago. I had him blocked a long time ago. So this idea that is like, oh my God, we had no idea. When has he ever said free Palestine? When has he ever made any mention of an occupation, any mention of a genocide, any mention of a, that's not hard to, 1 and 1 is 2 for me. It's not hard to identify where someone stands when they don't make it clear where they stand.
Well, so that part. So I want to share a couple things because Christina Brown, who would love to join us if she ends up being home in time. I know. I thank you all for hopping on. So because when you're in community with folks, you can just throw a message to folks and be like, hey, can we talk about this? Can we get into the details? So I want to look at this video, and I asked her if I could share this video because I think she brings up a really good point in something that she posted on IG. So let's take a listen. So any reactions to what she has to say? Because I thought sis was spitting facts.
The facts you get, we got to have some real intentionality on the nuances that she said, and people not being purposely manipulative or misunderstanding. Because she said a lot of things about labor, and she said a lot of things about accountability that's just real when it comes to the reality that we're living in. If you make content every day, all day, and when you're making this content, you putting a lot of risk up there. You're risking getting deals, you're risking getting paychecks, you're risking making, relationships. Oh yeah, definitely. There is a lot of transaction that's being lost. I.e., you are literally making it where you don't get no transactions because you said free Palestine or you said fuck Israel. So when it comes to thinking about how you're gonna pay them bills, hey, the likes, the shares, and the comments, stay cool and give a lot of us capital and influence to become said content creators. But a lot of times, because we make content that's politically charged, don't think that our followers equals dollars. You see what I'm saying? For me, I make content about politics. You feel me? T-Mobile or Michelob tires or whatever it is, they not finna sell a product or
They're
service.
Not trying to hear that. They're definitely not trying to back all that up. Absolutely.
YouTube ain't rocking with me either. YouTube, Facebook, all these. If I say a politically charged message, the monetization ain't rocking with me. So even if you see some videos that got millions of views, I ain't get paid nothing off of that. So it comes to, hey, how am I get paid? You feel me? And
well, I want to say this. Like, yeah, no, go ahead.
This is just last thing I say. It's the last thing I say. I hope in my most education, pedagogical mind, I hope that this conversation about dark money has dropped the seed, because it has in me, to really go and do some research about what dark money is, about what specific cases allow for this loophole to happen, and for us to really see that, to me, my beef is with capitalism and how a democracy has been able to use capitalism to really shield a lot of shit we're supposed to have in popular sovereignty and one vote, one count. You see what I'm saying? And to me, it's like, I think an analysis that censors systems and institutions is a much better one than like a hit piece on individuals. For instance, Kenny Too Raw Too Real, fam is a liberal. You feel me? I know him in real life. He a liberal. He would have said all the liberal shit he said. He would say he said that. You see what I'm saying? I don't think he got paid to say it. I think he said that's how he really feel. He really loved Kamala Harris.
But I know that man was shouting down, like on the social media, like literally was one of the loudest, like a chihuahua shouting down pro-Palestine folks. Like, and at any argument that would come up, it was like he was he would do a video in defense of the campaign against that talking point, as if he was being paid to do so.
Yeah, that was based off his own accord. You know what I'm saying? Something with the article, though, I think that I found interesting is that in the past 4 months, Kenny has tried to be like, aha, got you. Like, hey, I was talking about genocide in Palestine. Then Kamala Harris. Now Trump is in office. How's it going for y'all? He's made content about this where he calls it a genocide, but he doing it in like shit. Y'all like it now. So for me, it's just like this article that's caused all this. Is like,
Where's
hey,
the connection though? That's what I'm trying to say. Why
make
is it that?
criticism
And I
without
feel like
like,
it's the same audience. I think we're talking about the same audience here for me, because I feel like a lot of us were trying to chew gum and walk at the same time by acknowledging that what's happening is on both sides. One is doing the destruction and one is doing the real estate development. It's stage one and stage two. But we got here because Biden was licking ice cream and telling us that things was going to be okay and that we were going to have a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Anthony Blinken has come out talking about the whole time we was lying. They actually wasn't really going to do no ceasefire. Every time we brought it up, really Netanyahu was going to but they were telling y'all that Hamas was the one that was messing up the ceasefire. And so what I'm trying to say is when those messages were coming down, who was pushing those messages the hardest was these influencers that seem to be getting paid to basically, as we're calling out all of these discrepancies. I'm fighting with my own people who I thought we were revolutionaries. I thought we were pointing out certain things, and all of a sudden you seem compromised to me for a photo op at the White House. That's what it was feeling like to me.